Everybody, it's Bryan, your friendly neighborhood reviewer, and I'm here today to talk about Julian Lennon's 1984 debut album, Valotte. Again, this is an easy album to find, too, not very difficult. It was a big bestseller in its day. Of course, first album by John Lennon's son, by his first wife, Cynthia. Yoko and John would have a son, too, Sean, of course, who was born in 75. But last we heard Julian Lennon, he was 11 years old and playing drums on the last album I did the review on, Walls and Bridges. John Lennon kind of reacquainted with his son from his first marriage and did that little ditty on there, Ya Ya. Him on Julian on drums, him on piano, and cute little thing. So fast forward, John Lennon unfortunately dies December 8th, shot to death after the release of Double Fantasy, his comeback album with Yoko. So Julian was 17 at the time. His father got killed, tragically. So this album was released 4 years later. So again, 21, kind of interesting. 21 years old when he released this album. It was a big, big hit. It spawned 4 hit singles, three big ones and one E. Okay, the title track, Valotte. The title track was taken from a French chateau that him and his 2 friends would play in. His buddies were, let me see if I can get this right, Justin Clayton and Carlos Morales. Hey, there we go. So these 2 guys, they were friends of Julian's, would meet and rehearsed, went through songs and stuff, and wrote a lot of things and did demos of these songs. He sent the demo to... let me get this straight. Tony Stratton Smith, the head guy of Charisma Records in UK, formed the Charisma label. So the guy, Tony Smith, he loved what he heard and signed Julian Lennon to his label and to Atlantic. It's Atlantic here in the U.S. It's an Atlantic copy of this album. So these demos were done. Had some of the best people he could as backup musicians. He played on it. Julian plays bass, keyboards, all that sings. He's a good songwriter, but you can tell he's just, starting out kind of songwriting. But this is a good little album, produced by Phil Ramone, very well famous producer. Produced everyone from Ray Charles to Billy Joel to he won Grammys for Paul Simon's Still Crazy After These Years album. Very well famous producer. So he had the best people to help him on this album. The title track, Valotte itself, is really good. Almost imagined kind of piano-driven number. Beautiful number. It did top 10 here. Great song. Beautiful song. Leads off the album well. The other song, of course, the big hit off the album was Too Late for Goodbyes, the kind of reggae number. Went top 5. Big hit for him. Catchy little number. And then he had another hit with Say You're Wrong, which is a good little horn-driven, fast little number. That was, I think, a top 40 hit. And then Jesse, which I don't really care for that much, but it went to like 55 or something like that on Billboard, so it's a decent scene. But my problem with Valotte is, of course, he's a budding songwriter, so he's not, seasoned like his dad was, but he's got to start from somewhere, His singing it does sound like a lot like his dad, which is kind of cool. A little eerie, but kind of cool. But he's got his own unique way of doing things. Lyrically, of course, he addresses a lot of stuff dealing with his dad, losing his dad, and dealing with, the fame and all that stuff of his dad and the all that stuff, the legend and all that. But so lyrically, it's very good. It's got a lot of depth to it. You can really feel that, especially in Well, I Don't Know. That's where he sings, feeling the presence of the dead and like, oh gosh, it's a little freaky, but it's really heartfelt. And he's asking him, is there life after death for me? Are you part of my family tree? He's going through all this stuff, talking about his dad and everything. That really makes the album have a lot of depth to it. As far as the other tracks, Okay For You, that's got a great guitar riff on that. That starts out. That's one of the best songs. I love that song. Good chugging guitar riff. The horn section, I will say this. The horns that they use on this, the horn section, Walter Brecker, one of the famous saxophonists, and then you've got a coterie of great musician stuff on here. But the saxophones and the horns they use are some of the best I've ever heard on a pop album. It livens up every single track they're on. That really stands out really well in this album. The main problem with this for me is, again, Julian's budding songwriting. It like on the last track, Let Me Be, is kind of, But, so he's still learning his way around the craft. And Phil Ramone, like I said, great producer, but on this album particularly, because there's a certain kind of blandness in it, in the production, and that kind of hurts the album. It unifies it, but it also hurts it, because some of the stuff just... I remember reading about Robert Christgau, the great Village Voice critic, called it like bland corporate rock. He said completely unnecessary. And he's got a little point there. But I wouldn't call it unnecessary. It's a bit bland. It could use a little seasoning, in other words. But those 2 points kind of put it on the fence for me. But there is about 6 really good songs, because the first side is fantastic. I mean, from Valotte to Okay For You to On the Phone, which is another great one. That horn section of that just blows that song away. It's amazing to hear. Space is a good. I kind of like that. It's a kind of a little bit bland ballad, but I love the production that really emphasizes the title. It's really cool, spacey little number. I kind of like that. And then Well I Don't Know, which is a great, fantastic song, the close side one, about his father. And then side 2 opens with Too Late for Goodbyes, and you're thinking, damn, this is a killer album. I love this album. And then it starts going downhill, pretty much. Lonely is kind of a bland ballad. Say You're Wrong, again, the other hit single, Top 40, that's a good song. And then the last 2, Jesse, I Don't Really Care For, and Let Me Be is even worse. So, there's some duds on this. But overall, I mean, it's a decent album. It's a good place to start for him. He would get better with his, he only released, I think, my goodness, 6 albums, maybe 7. But he would get better as he got along. As far as songwriting. It's a cool album, though. Nice little cover photo and everything. Got a custom inner sleeve. Basically. All the list of musicians and credits and odd little things there to his dad. Go figure. And, Atlantic label, of course. So you can tell that 80s Atlantic label. Compared to like some of the purple ones and the early ones from Ray Charles and something like that. But this is about a 3-star album to me. Some people might give it more, some people give it less. But it's about a good, average, solid album. You're not going to go wrong with it either way. Can't really recommend it, but 3 stars not bad. Surprising it's aged pretty good too. So not bad. Check out. But there you go. Anyway, appreciate the likes, subscribe, everything. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoy the final showcase and review. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this album. I just, totally missed the boat on it or what. But let me know what you think. Let me know about Julian Lennon, what you think of him. Do you like his vocal styling? Sound like his father or not? Let me know. But appreciate all the watches and subscribes. Thanks so much. Check out my buddy David Darko's channel. We always have a lot of fun with that channel, with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. You gotta have a sense of humor. But we have a lot of fun on that channel, so check it out there. Thanks again. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Thank you, guys.